Hello and welcome to News from Crime Alley. My name is Brett, and I have here with me my co-host Anthony.
Yo.
We're not gay, but if I had to play find the hot dog in a fort with one other man, we'd find that hot dog together.
Wait, hold on. Is that a thing?
It is now.
Have you played Find the Hot Dog?
Well,
Who made you play Find a Hot Dog in a court or in a fort?
As a kid, it was a game we just played. You never played that?
Which uncle? Which uncle played it with you?
Uncle Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always found the hot dog, though.
I think he kind of set it up that way, buddy.
With all the child trafficking shit, I figured I'd throw a good one in there this week.
Oh, yeah. Okay, moving on.
All right.
We can't talk about that.
So we are currently here. And this week we have a slew of different things to talk about. We got New Mutants coming out this past week. We had DC FANDOME dropping, so we're going to be talking about some video games. We got Gotham Knights, and we also have Suicide Squad versus the Justice League. We have the new Avengers game that also came out that me and Anthony both have been playing, and so has my young boy Aiden. Who's pretty
He's a
much
good boy.
Yes, very good boy. He's poking his head up. Yep. Oh, his foot. All right, Aiden, keep watching that phone, buddy. You get on that phone. So we have that going. We are going to talk about the boys. We are going to talk about comics. We got the Batman. We got Flashpoint. We got it.
All of it.
Yes.
We have all of it.
Yes. I would say, I'm not going to say a yacht full, but I'm going to say a boatload of things.
A boatload. What's that? What's that song?
I'm on a boat.
No, not I'm on a boat.
boat.
I'm on a boat.
Yeah.
No, not that.
That's your favorite person, Andy Samberg.
Yes, my favorite comedian. I own every bootleg CD from every stand-up gig he does.
Yes, where Saturday Night slowly went downhill. It's slowly getting better, though. They got that Keenan on there from Keenan and Kel on Nick. He's actually really good.
I can't even tell you the last time I watched that show.
I catch clips every now and then, like when you're scrolling down on the Facebook news feed, that tends to pop up here and there. But yeah, so we'll start getting into it. We got New Mutants coming up first. I got some pictures and all kinds of different things going here. So I got these pictures up. It's just going to play in the background instead of me trying to scroll through pictures this week. We found out that makes things very interesting and fun for...
We're learning. Brett.
Yes.
We're learning. We're maximizing our efficiency here.
Yes. If anyone out there that's doing podcasts right now, if you're interested and you start doing video, it's better to. We're gonna try it actually now this week. We're gonna start segmenting out our podcast a little bit to help with the edit for any of those new podcast people that are my friends on Facebook.
Brett, we're only up a couple episodes on YouTube, and it's already like peek behind the curtain. You know what I mean? The wizard just pulls the levers. You don't know what he's doing back there. We don't want to know how the sausage is made. We just want to eat the sausage.
Or the hot dog.
Or the hot, yes. No, you find the hot dog.
Yeah. All right. Well, you got to find it to eat it.
Oh my god. Oh my god. All right, New Mutants.
All right. I watched New Mutants recently. I went to the theater. I definitely didn't watch it from home because I went there in the theater in a mask and I socially distanced myself. I was 12 feet from everyone. I made sure to keep far distance, yes.
Did you bring your pack of baby wipes and wipe the seat down?
Yes, I went on a Sunday and I was very protected. I wore a face mask.
Nice.
Yes, it was a good day. But New Mutants, so I'm giving a score for it right now, right off the bat, and my score is 5.5 out of 10.
Why? Okay, here's a question for you. What designates the 0.5? What's that extra 0.5 for?
Okay, first off, the length of the movie, you could tell it was just cut down very heavily, and it's one of those movies to where, like, the first Suicide Squad, to where you could just, like, see there is just a lot of missing content and a lot of different setups that could have been in the movie. Like, they didn't do very well in explaining character backgrounds. I didn't know character names until like halfway through the movie, and as you're getting to know these characters, like I've read the comics and everything for these characters, and I didn't know who was who until about halfway through the movie. Like the transformation for like Wolfsbane didn't come until like very late, even though you have like a slight idea. But like a lot of the characters, there's nothing that designates like one from the other until you're about halfway through. So like as a new viewer to the movie, like if you don't have a comic book background, or even if you do, you don't know what's going on. It's just like it's like a teen drama movie, actually. Like
in their defense, right? I what's his name? Boone, Josh Boone.
Yes,
is that his name? He was planning 3 movies, a trilogy of movies, right? So he had setups in there for that. There were setups that tied in with the broader Fox X-Men universe. So I would imagine that a lot of these tie-ins had to be cut out. There was more Mr. Sinister references, from what I understand.
They don't. There's no mentions of Mr. Well, is there? I'm trying to think right now. Yes, they do. They do mention. They mention his company and everything in it.
Yeah,
and then pretty much the job of the scientist lady. Spoiler alert. This is spoilers. So as I'm going on.
Yeah, it's all spoilers. Everything we fucking talk about is spoilers.
Yeah, so as I'm going on, what she's doing is with these different mutants that are at this place, she's collecting DNA off of them and basically listing them if they're going to be a threat or not a threat. And like it ends up coming out in the movie that one of the mutants, I'm not going to say who, ends up becoming a threat. So her thing with it is she's going to have to remove this said mutant.
Why are you going to say we're spoilers? We're all spoilers.
But
Danny Moonstar.
Yes.
It's going to be Danny Moonstar.
Yes. So she has like, it's almost like, because I don't know her exact power set, but like she could kind of make nightmares come to life. It's like reality warping type powers for the most part.
She's like nightmares. She can see people's deaths.
Yeah.
It's like psychic type abilities that she has.
Yeah, and then like some of the scenes are really cool. Like they kind of touched a little bit on Limbo and everything in it, which was pretty neat. But I wish they like made it a little bit more in depth. I wish they just explained the power sets a little bit better to people.
Right.
Like it was very very minimalistic. Like I don't know if that was a budget thing or like cuts or whatever, but they just took a lot from the movie. And like yeah, they had some really good setups for different like horror aspects of the movie, and then they took away from that. Like they didn't really explain like the characters that are coming from Limbo. They look like, if anyone's ever seen that movie, I think it was called Smiley. They look like that, and I don't know why they keep taking that aspect out of movies, because they did that in also Haunting at Hill House. They like reusing that character for some odd reason. Like I don't know if he's like a part of lore or something that I don't know about, but they were even using that in this. Do you know if like that happens in comics? Like is that
smiley face killers? I think that was a real thing.
Was it in comics? Well,
no, I mean like in the real world.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. No, I really didn't know that.
So I may be mistaken. Yeah, I think there was like a string of them at some point. I remember seeing it at some point. I think it was a real thing.
I'm gonna have to like double check. My wife, she watches this one podcast where this lady, she puts on her makeup, but she tells different stories about like people, like serial killers and stuff, while she puts on her makeup. And it's like a really cool podcast. It's a good gig.
Good idea.
Yeah, no, it's really, because like you get really interested in it, but I feel bad for the girls that like watch those videos because you stop paying attention to any of the makeup stuff in the video. But yeah, so I felt like the movie was cut short in a lot of aspects, and they didn't give enough foreshadowing of the characters. But like you said, I guess to his defense, he planned on trying to like maybe explain the characters more in a second movie or whatever. It was kind of set up for powers. Because, well, I guess you are correct with that too, because they are explaining that the mutants are just all getting used to their powers in that movie. Like Moonstar just pretty much is starting to... She doesn't even know what her powers are at that point. She doesn't know like what they are, what they stem from. And once she kind of discovers, and at the end of it, it's just like this big thing. She overpowers her powers and remembers this thing for, like, her father gives her like this necklace that has this bear.
Yeah, the demon bear from her nightmares.
Yeah.
It like represents like her evil and shit.
Yeah, and she ends up like coming back and being able to fight against the bear, and it just like turns into a nice grizzly bear and just like poof, gone.
Nice.
And then they realize the force field's down at the end of it, and they walk off into the sunset.
Fair enough.
And there are like a lot of references also to the X-Men. Like they all think that like the original thought behind them being there is they all think that they're being there to get trained to be X-Men, but that's not actually how it is. So, I don't know.
Well, here's my take on it, right? I did not go to the theater. I may or may not have allegedly watched like half of a camera, maybe like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And like the quality was so crap that I could barely even keep going. But so in my opinion, it's like they took a script that they already had laying around and like shoehorned a New Mutant story into it. And so I started looking at it, and 2017 is when they started shooting this, right? So if you look at 2016 and what movies came out that year, right? You had Civil War, Doctor Strange, Deadpool, Suicide Squad, X-Men Apocalypse, Assassin's Creed, Split. So all these like hero type movies. And then at the same time, so like superhero was like off the charts. At the same time, you had Anya Taylor-Joy in a movie called The Witch, which was a horror movie. You had a Blumhouse movie called Hush. So like this low budget horror where they were like making crazy money back because they'd only spend like $5 million on the movie was kind of really coming to fruition.
Yeah, the movie Hush was actually really great too.
Yeah, so it's like they just took these two things that were like this upcoming horror, and then squeezed them together.
Yeah, just a good old horror sandwich.
Yeah, because I don't think either of the genres were done particularly well.
No,
from what I saw, like I didn't even
like
see
they
the whole
didn't
thing.
like if they focused on one or the other, it would have been an okay movie. But it seemed, like you said, it was a mashup, and
I mean, it could have worked. It could have worked if it was done right. But like, think about the process that this thing has been through, and like, it's amazing that it even came out.
Yeah,
You know?
from you learning to do edits and stuff on our podcast, you know how much one or two cuts could affect things, like, and how bad it could actually make things. And
Well, you can
reshoots.
dramatically change everything with like a few things. So,
yeah. Do you have anything else more on New Mutants, or
No,
anything else you want to speculate on it?
no, I think that's about it.
All right. Well, I guess I got next up. We'll talk about some DC fandom stuff. I'm going to move on to talking about Flashpoint, and we'll kind of set the rest of the podcast with that, and we'll move forward. All right, so we got Flashpoint here. They did a recent drop at DC Fandom with like it was a bunch of different things that they own rights to that they were talking about possibly involving in the upcoming Flashpoint movie, which could be very interesting. Some of the titles were like Matchstick Men, which was like very odd. Ezra Miller said that he really wanted to do stuff with Nicolas Cage, not a character Nicolas Cage played, but actually Nicolas Cage, which is hilarious.
What a fucked pair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could imagine like him end up being friends with like Nick Cage's fucking son after this. And
Yeah, right.
Nick Cage's son is like, he's definitely one of the weirdest. He looks like Danzig. Like, he looks exactly like Danzig. He has really long hair and just dresses in, like, metal and goth clothes all the time. And Nick Cage, like, started to do it. He's, like, doing that thing where he's like, oh, I'm in that midlife crisis. I'm going to start dressing like my kid.
He's hip, he's cool, he's 40.
Yeah. So that could only lead down so many different kind of roads where Nick Cage, he's a madman. He's not like... I'm just comparing him to like John Travolta just because of Face Off, and John Travolta is another fucking nutcase.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, they're not Mel Gibson level. Well, I don't know. He was dressing like a tranny for a while, but I think that was more of him trying to hide from cameras and shit for shit he was doing. I don't know if that was actually part of his personal life. I think him and his wife are either divorced, but he went through a rough time when his like son died and shit though.
Wait, who?
John Travolta's son committed suicide a couple years ago.
I knew that.
Yeah, and he went through like a serious like depression and shit.
Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, and then yeah.
That sucks. That's fucked up. I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, and it wasn't like too long after the Punisher movie. It was like I think like a year or two after that came out.
Huh.
And then they also said Game of Thrones, which would be awesome because it would be like killing two birds with one stone. They would be able to like involve Game of Thrones and Flashpoint and be able to reboot Game of Thrones on top of rebooting the DCEU.
They're not going to reboot Game of Thrones.
They better. That'd be the ultimate way to do it because it would be so out there that it would be hilarious.
They're gonna jump to some universe and there's gonna be a fucking dragon just
Shooting
cruising
fire over.
through the skies. Yeah, and then
No,
they'll
just-
hop right out of it.
Just reboot it.
I think it's no, they'll never reboot that. I think it's like they'll just hop there. It'll be a reference, and then they'll hop out.
No, he's gonna run in. He's gonna save Daenerys Targaryen, and it's gonna all be better.
Can you imagine?
I could.
People would lose their minds.
I'd love it because I'd get more Game of Thrones, and it'd just be amazing. So then, what other weird titles did they have in there? I'm trying to think right now. It was just some really off the wall shit outside of like just normal DC Universe stuff. So they were also talking about like they would have Batman Forever in it. What was it? Lego Batman. They're obviously bringing in Michael Keaton, as you can see, as the background starting to go with the pictures there. Just a lot of different stuff. It opens up such an expansive list of things that they could do stuff with. And like we were kind of talking, I'm wondering if it's just going to be quick flips through. And then I don't know if it's fan art that I'm catching. I'm going to have to like double check some of the posters, but they were showing like a different Batman with red eyes and stuff. So I'm wondering if they're going to eventually like somehow sneak like a dark multiverse Thomas Wayne in there, which would like I would hope so, because that's like a big staple of Flashpoint is Thomas Wayne.
So the speculation is because Jeffrey Dean Morgan played him in Batman v Superman, that he's going to be Thomas Wayne in the Flashpoint movie. That's the speculation. I don't know.
I would hope so, because he's I love him, and at that point I would pray that they would bring Red Hood in there as Jensen Ackles, because I got a big man crush on Jensen Ackles from watching Supernatural since the 8th grade. So, and that's finishing up, so he's going to be open to a lot of different projects. So
Wait, is that the one that's going to be on The Boys though?
Yeah. So I don't know if he's going to jump in there. And then there's like a lot of actors that deserve to just kind of get their moment of fame here. I wonder if they'll have Nathan Fillion do anything for Green Lantern, or Ryan Reynolds do anything for Green Lantern.
I bet they get Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. I guarantee he'll do it.
Oh yeah, he would. He would for sure. I mean, if nothing else, then just to poke fun at it. But yeah, I imagine that they'll get everybody that they can, right? It's my understanding that they're going to try to keep the Joel Schumacher stuff out of it.
They might do a quick... Well, because you and I both know there's no fucking way Val Kilmer's getting in a Batman suit. Ever.
Yeah, but he could be somewhat also an older...
Like
Bruce
a Batman
Wayne
in a
somewhere.
wheelchair?
He's not a
That he
wheelchair.
can't walk?
He's not a wheelchair. I think he had throat cancer, didn't he?
Well, he's really fat, though. So
No,
I
he
would
lost a bunch of weight. He got throat cancer.
Yeah. He lost a bunch of weight, so
Yeah.
then he just looks horrible. Then he probably looks like he's on meth.
Yeah, no, he's just got age on him. He looks like he didn't have 10 plastic surgeries and Botox shots in his face, and you know.
Thank you, Aiden.
No, he looks his age, you know, and
Yeah.
we're not used to Hollywood actors looking their age.
No, because you got Man God Tom Cruise and
Well,
Mel
he
Gibson looking
doesn't
good,
age.
Stallone.
Yeah.
It's all
Mel
that.
Gibson still he looks a little older. He doesn't.
It's all that hormone therapy that they all go through.
Yeah, what kind of hormone therapy?
Children's blood. Tom Cruise was the first to discover it,
Yes.
but it's more unknown about him. We don't talk a lot about Tom Cruise.
No.
It's better not to. That's the easiest way to die.
Yeah,
in
they'll
this
come for
universe.
us. They will come for us.
Well, that's second to Hillary Clinton. That's number 2, numero 2.
Yeah, so they're gonna bring in Michael Keaton, Batman as. So they're gonna take the. Now you got me thrown all off. They're gonna take the Tim Burton Batman movies and act as if they like after Batman Returns, like that's the future.
Yeah.
Like the Schumacher one's never happened. The Flash is gonna go back and meet him.
Yep, and
then
then
he's signed on to do multiple movies.
yeah,
which
so
is pretty cool.
That's gonna be awesome to have Michael Keaton in a Batman role again. He's gonna be like a mentor. I think we said it in a past podcast, kind of like the Nick Cage of the DC universe.
Nick Fury.
Yeah, well, he'd kind of be like the Nick Fury of
will
the DC universe. Yeah,
He'll be the Nick Cage.
Did I say Nick Cage?
Yeah.
Wow.
You just got him on the
I'm on that
brain, man.
Nick Cage, man.
Yeah, you're getting crazy. You're getting Nick Cage
Face
crazy.
off. We should get I wish we had a face swap effect right now, because I'd definitely swap faces with you. And just be full Nick Cage all day.
So that's it. So do you think they bring? Do you think they're going to bring the TV stuff in? Anybody from the TV? I mean, of course not everybody, but
I would assume they would bring in Grant Gustin, I guess, just because they involved Ezra Miller in the Crisis on Infinite Earths. So that'd be interesting to see him actually make it into the movies. I know there was a lot of speculation with replacing Ezra Miller, but now after DC Fandom, it seems like he's pretty solidified.
yeah,
I think they were debating replacing him. If you guys see through the video, the pictures sliding through, that he's choking a woman out in one of the pictures.
yes,
And
you did that.
yeah, we still haven't been able to figure out if it was like a act thing or if it was him just choking a fan.
It looks kind of jokey to me when we watch the video.
Yeah, it seems
hard to
silly.
say.
Like,
People don't care whether it was joking around.
yeah,
or not.
maybe
That's
he
how
was
it works
fulfilling
now.
a sexual fantasy.
Yeah, it's always something.
Making people's dreams come true. Maybe it
mean-
was Make-A-Wish.
If it was real, like he would be like legit canceled. Right
Yeah,
now,
he-
you know what I mean?
He'd be like the elongated man,
Yes,
forever to be disappeared from all of DC.
yes. My long lost friend.
Yeah, that's your buddy.
That's my buddy.
All right. Do you want to move on to the Batman?
Yeah, we can move on to the Batman.
All right, let's move on to the Batman. All right, so we're probably talking about my favorite topic for the day, just anything Batman in general. I just get so excited for.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Newport cigarettes.
The good old Newport cigarette catalogs.
It's fresh.
Brings you back. Got those member berries.
Yes. All right, anyway, the Batman.
Yes, the Batman. So I watched the trailers for this, and it looks amazing. Everything except for Colin Farrell.
Why? I think that's like a crazy transformation.
It is, but they have an actor that looks just like the makeup, and he was in the Gotham TV show already. They could have just used him. Well, if it's multiversal, I guess they can't with the universe. But he was like the mayor in the Gotham TV show.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
I remember like the Riddler had like a bomb strapped to him in the one episode or whatever too, and he was very corrupt. But he would have been a good casting for it. But you got the.
So if they kept it a secret that Colin Farrell was playing the Penguin, right, and you didn't know it was him, and you were like, "Man, that was awesome, and then you found out it was Colin Farrell, what would you do?
I would just know it was Colin Farrell because I know him.
You can't.
I could sense him. Yes, I can.
He has like the best American accent.
He has the same eyes all the time, and he's the fucking devil.
You would never know. You would never know if they kept
I
it a
would,
secret.
dude.
You
You
can't
don't
tell at all.
understand. I have just such hatred for him. I don't know why though. It's like a spidey sense. Like he had to do something really bad in his life. Like, and I could
You
just
could
pick
just
up on
sense
it.
it.
I could just pick up on his energy or his aura or
I
whatever.
can sense he's evil.
Yeah, dude. Like how like gingers kill other gingers or whatever for like Highlander. Like, well, all right. So I shouldn't be telling anyone about this. Only a few people know about this.
I have seen.
Redheads kill other redheads. That's
Why?
why our population is so low. It's not a genetic thing. It's there could only be one. That's where the Highlander story actually stemmed from. Is
Yeah,
from redheads.
The deep redhead lore.
Yeah, and that's why why Highlander started in Scotland. Like it just everything lines up,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
I've never killed anyone because I'm slowly just gaining power as they're slowly wiping each other out. I'm a daywalker, so I kind of blend. I don't got the freckles, so I'm a hybrid of some sort.
You are gaining strength in the
I
past
am.
year. I'm gonna say,
dude,
you are
I'm
gaining
starting to
strength.
get a mild amount of color.
Yes, yeah. How, like you haven't been sick that many
No,
times?
I haven't been sick since I left our past job. My past job, I have not been sick
Our
once.
6 to 7 day overnights.
Yes.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
why that would be detrimental to your health or well-being.
Yeah, my 61-day straight run of death, to where I would just go sleep on the bathroom floor upstairs for 2 or 3 hours.
That would never happen.
Yeah, that was terrible.
That was a good joke, Brett, that you just told.
No, I'm
Good
out
joke.
of there. I'd sleep all the goddamn time.
All right, anyway, moving on.
Yeah, so we got the Batman. The trailer looks amazing. There's definitely a lot of similar tones to Christopher Nolan's Batman.
Yeah.
The color palettes are very close.
Yeah, the Gotham uniforms look similar. Like, they feel similar.
Yeah, they say that someone decrypted the Riddler, whatchamacallit, the Riddler riddle.
Riddler
Riddle in the postcard or whatever that was like placed, and it was kind of cool. Like, I didn't really realize it until I like watched the trailer, and then like later on I started watching like some stuff that like people would speculate on the trailer, but like I didn't realize he duct taped like that whole dude's face. I thought that was a mask at first, just because the trailer is very dark. It's too dark actually, and that guy's whole face is duct taped like completely shut. Like, that was kind of cool. They're saying that the character there is the Riddler, but I think there's gonna be something else up with it. I think it's gonna kind of be how like in Christopher Nolan they kind of like alluded to like the Joker, like that being like his mask, or like I remember when the masks like first dropped for the trailer or whatever for the Joker, and you thought like, oh god, that's gonna be stupid. That's like his mask. But I think the Riddler is wearing that mask for some purpose or reason, or that's a completely different character that isn't the Riddler.
No, I bet that's the Riddler.
Yeah, well, those are just two theories. I don't think like that's how they're gonna keep him, because then his dialogue is gonna be so weird and his voicing is gonna be odd. It's gonna be all through like a gas mask or whatever.
I don't think they're keeping anybody the way that they are in this trailer.
No
and they're
one?
saying that they've only filmed like 25% or some low percent. They're saying.
Wow.
Yeah, I think Batman's getting a new suit. I don't think that's definitely not his final suit.
No, they might just be doing like a quick start off type thing. And
yeah, I don't think they're even going to keep something. It's not going to be like a shinier version of that. I think it's going to be something totally different.
Yeah.
I think Catwoman for sure is getting a new suit, because that's the fucking dumbest mask I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. What were you calling that? The Catwoman stealth suit?
Yeah, it's the Catwoman stealth suit where you can see her entire face except for the thin line of skin above your lip.
Yeah, it's just silly. It's like overly. It's overly year one stuff. I don't know how to explain it into a certain word or way I want to say it, but like it looked like they were trying too hard with that costume to be like, she just pieced it together. It's her first costume, blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
what, like, wear a fucking ski mask.
Yeah,
or
just
like,
something.
Or don't, or wear something that covers, like, why do that?
Yeah.
Why would you wear that?
Like, you got Batman freaking 89 where Catwoman has a badass leather suit and just looks sexy as hell. That's not a sexy Catwoman. Catwoman's sexy. It's a sex appeal thing.
She's definitely getting another suit. So that's Batman. Who else did I say?
You said the Riddler, Batman.
Oh, the Riddler. I think he's definitely getting another suit. I don't think that's his final form.
I think they're alluding to some stuff with the Joker, the way the cronies kind of look in the one trailer where Batman's beating them up.
Yeah. It's really weird. That's a really weird little crowd there. It reminds me of the, speaking of multiverse shit, it reminds me of the cronies from, was that the first Batman? Yeah, with the Joker's cronies.
That poster, I love that. You were saying, you showed me that poster a couple weeks ago, and that's so cool. The way they ended up doing that, I really like I don't know, it's just neat. It's somewhat like, it's definitely like a buy that poster, hang it up on your wall type thing.
Yeah, man, it's a cool poster though.
And then in the one picture that emo Batman, everyone just keeps calling him emo Batman. There's gonna be memes from that eventually. And then there's a Catwoman mask, and then you were saying in the one thing where they show Batman kind of rappelling up the like stairway or whatever, that people are calling, saying the one person going up the stairs looks like a Court of Owls mask.
Yeah, and it does. If you look at it, it looks like a white face mask. So
it would be like, if they're keeping this like standalone, that would be a good way to, like, next film, that would be a good route to go if they're going from like the Riddler to Court of Owls stuff, because that was definitely more like detective work. That was like exposing the elites in Gotham and stuff. And then he's like finding out that they're using like the Wayne Foundation to like basically like
Or
launder
funneling the
money. Yeah.
money through there.
So it's like a really neat base for actual detective work with Batman if they're going that route. So that would be really
Yeah,
neat,
I agree.
actually neat to see. And then we were talking a little while ago. We were speculating that we think that Robert Pattinson might end up being a dark multiverse Batman a while ago.
Yeah, I think he's going evil.
Yeah,
Not now, not in his movies. I think that he's going to end up being an evil Batman in the multiverse.
I could definitely see that. We were talking about because like his values, morals and values aren't completely in place yet. He's still
Yeah, he's
learning.
an early Batman. He's got those nice CGI
Yep.
goggles that could easily turn red.
Yep. And then like if we're getting to like talking about like the Joker, it's just like that like one bad day Joker. Like all he needs to have is enough of a bad day for him to break, which pretty much happens with like Dark Multiverse, which would be really cool. I know Batman Who Laughs is still such a fresh character, but I'd love to like but he's too large of a character at least at this point, because where you're getting into the Batman Who Laughs, you're talking multiverse scale comics. Like that's
you're like,
very large.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
so far ahead with that.
You couldn't ask like general audiences to get on board with that.
No, but
you
if
know?
they did like a cool horror movie with them, they could do like a slightly different spin on the character, which would be neat. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just love the
so
Batman Who
deep
Laughs.
trying to like connect that to like Batman and other
Yeah.
characters, and like,
It's too early on. Too early on for that. I'm gonna be dead by the time that ends up ever coming to fruition.
Probably it'll be
Yeah.
an old man. I don't think Robert Pattinson would have taken that role if there wasn't something more than just like, hey, want to be Batman?
Yeah.
He's done like some serious indie shit. He just got off of Tenet, The Lighthouse, all these like super heavy roles, super
Yeah.
meaty roles, and then to go from that just to be
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm gonna do some punching and kicking and
Yeah. I'm gonna
act
be done
smug,
with it.
you know?
Yeah.
It seems a little simple for him.
But we'll see. Like DC is like cutting people right at the legs right now too. Like if this doesn't do well, you know
Yeah.
they're gonna cut it. Like I think they're just all about, if it's not performing, it's out. They're all about that money right now. They've taken hard hits for the past couple years, so I
well,
can't blame them at that point.
They couldn't get it together. They didn't know
Yep.
what they wanted to do. They kept changing who's in charge of their movies. They kept changing directions. They were just trying to follow Marvel, and now it's great because now they're just going, fuck it, let's throw it all together.
Yep.
Mix it all in a pot, and I think that's amazing.
Yeah,
think it's
no,
great.
I completely agree with that, and I don't know, I'm so excited to see the way they're gonna start piecing all this together. It's stuff as a kid. You grow up reading these comics and getting to know these characters and everything, and you're starting to see these movies be made and like little puzzle pieces going together one by one. It's exciting to see it like all come together. Like as an adult now, like I feel bad for like people that are reading comics in like the 50s and stuff and read comics their whole life, and they're not here to like see this and the way it all
Well, they
came.
got their 70s Fantastic Four, was it?
Oh,
Or was
yeah.
that early 80s? I don't know.
I think it was 70s.
Was it?
Just the way it's shot, it looks like 70s.
Yeah.
Or
What
it could
else?
have been
There
80s.
was Captain America.
Yeah,
And
there-
Captain America 2, where he had the motorcycle.
Yeah,
helmet.
you got the Hulk movie, Hulk TV show. You had early Batman, but
Yeah,
like it
exactly.
just wasn't the same. But like to where you're having all these effects and just depth and stories, and like they're really, I
Yeah.
don't know, it's cool. Like because like the past Batman, like Batman Forever and stuff, like there was no like, well, it was written like old Batman comics. It was like, oh, there's the bad guy, I'm gonna punch the bad guy. I got this weird gadget in my belt, and like I seen a lot of people bitching that like, this one person wrote this like crazy article on it, and you could tell he's not a Batman fan. He just read like wiki Batman things and just wanted to like post something like, hey, I'm
Yeah.
intelligent, and he's like, I'm getting pissed off with these Batman movies. They just keep making the character darker and darker so that they could just show that police violence is okay, and like all
Boy.
this stuff, just that it's okay to be a vigilante and beat the shit out of villains. Like Batman used to be a hero. He used to have weird X-ray guns and all kinds of stuff, and now he just beats the shit out of people. And I'm like, okay, I could understand that argument, but there's like, if you were a comic fan and you're writing it on a comic base, it's just there's different Batmans, and Batman adapted into the time we're going in, and
Yeah.
like now, like, Batman had all these crazy gadgets years ago, but like now standard like military have gadget, like he's just adapting with the times, and that's
Right.
ultimately what it is. And you're trying to make a movie that's going to appeal to people now, as opposed to if you made a movie where Batman is using punch gloves or silly shit, it's people, I'd watch it, but not a lot of people would.
Well, that's not what's in vogue right now. You know what I mean?
No.
It's you want kind of realistic,
Yeah.
like semi-real world. Like this could exist in
Yes.
our world. Like the aliens look like. Well, if an alien came down, maybe it would probably look like a human with a blue face. You know.
Yes. Yeah, they're not going to have big orb-shaped heads, you know? Like,
Yeah, so it's just like they want it like stationed in the real world,
Yep.
and that's what's popular right now.
absolutely. Do you have anything else for the Batman?
I don't think so.
All right.
I think that's
well,
about it.
Then we're going to just keep chugging
Oh,
along.
Robert Pattinson has coronavirus.
He has coronavirus.
Yeah, so they halted production already,
Oh, my God.
and then I guess they may or may not have started back up. I don't know. I saw
I
conflicting.
wonder
news
how many
stories.
people on the set have it then. If he
Hard-
had it, everyone has to have it. Makeup people, whatever.
It's hard to say. They've
'Cause
made
the
a big deal
coronavirus is
about
highly,
like,
highly
we're
infectious.
doing this. We're gonna we'll start filming, but we're gonna keep everything in a bubble, and they made a big deal about that. And,
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess you have to right now with
and then
the.
it's your lead guy gets it, so it's
Yeah.
not a good,
Yeah,
not
no.
a good look.
No, that might have been why he was emo Batman. And that,
Maybe,
he
yeah.
was just really sad about
Yeah,
the
that's
coronavirus.
not makeup. It's just sunken eyes.
And that's why Catwoman has that mask, but it should have been covering her mouth, not
She
her
was
eyes.
one of those assholes at the store that like cut out the mouth.
Oh
Like,
my
"Look,
God,
I'm
I love
wearing a
those people.
mask.
I love those people. They're
You
my
can't
favorite.
kick me out. I'm wearing a mask.
Yep.
All
Hey.
right, I'm done.
All right. So moving on from the Batman, what do we have next? Let's see here. We have the Avengers video game. All right, so we got the Avengers video game. We both recently just purchased this game. We're both pretty much at the same points. I'm not much further than Anthony. We both probably have about 10 or 12 hours into the game.
I don't think I have that much, but yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not very far.
it's hard to tell because the amount of hours I have are very interrupted hours because my kids just are relentless. Like, well, you know, you do the podcast with me. Every 10 seconds, my son is doing something in the corner of my eye.
He is a good boy. How dare you?
He's a very good boy, but it's hard. It's very hard. My daughter just snuck downstairs, so that was fun.
We're friends now.
Yeah, she actually was upset that she was going upstairs.
Yeah. She used to hate me.
Yeah, she's terrified, but she warmed up to you. You and my brother are like the only two people she likes, like that are outside of like our direct like house.
Yeah, she's just.
And my
very,
mom, she's good with too. She likes my mom. But yeah, so we got the Avengers. The game is definitely better than I expected.
How are you liking it?
I'm liking everything about it. It's cool. The characters have like a good amount of like move sets. Like it's not crazy, but I understand like why. It's just because they had a lot of different stuff they had to focus on because they plan on doing a lot of different characters, and I'm wondering if some of the stuff for it's gonna change because the title, like if you buy the game now for PS4 or Xbox, it's also you're gonna also get the copy for the PS5 for free, so you're gonna be able to download it on PS5. And
Nice.
I'm wondering if they're gonna change up or do anything different once it hits next gen gaming platform.
What, like a major update for it?
Yeah, like I wonder if they have some additional stuff planned because they said like interviews I watched, they said like, yep, the game's gonna be good for a couple years. So like, I'm wondering if they're gonna do it like how they did Destiny 2, where they just keep adding on additional things that your characters could do. Because like Destiny, like I thought like they expanded on each character to where they added also additional move sets, like
Yeah.
different things you could do with each character, and like you select different paths for them, like the way they go.
Yeah,
So.
right. Well, time will tell, right? Because a lot of these games that are like games as a service fall down after,
Yeah,
a year, 2 years.
So as I'm playing the game, I'm realizing you don't have to buy into the game, like because I'm like now at like faction vendors and stuff like that,
Oh.
and like you're out leveling your gear so fast that like I don't think you're eventually gonna have to get into purchasing until like you max out your leveling. It's like Destiny, to where like if like you could purchase some stuff and it'll make your gear better if you're maybe
Right.
playing like online matchmaking, but ultimately it seems like you're gonna have to play campaign and like really earn your gear, and that's how Destiny is. Like there's a cheaper way to like you could buy stuff and get your way out of it a little bit faster, but if you like earned it, like the best gear you actually had to earn in Destiny.
Right.
But you could get like very similar, like almost great gear from purchasing too, though.
I have to tell you, I'm not finding the gear that interesting. It's just like it may as well be a red, blue, and green dot that
Yeah.
is saying pick up the green dot.
Well, that's
Do
the
you
thing,
want to use the
and
better green dot?
like I think the thing where people are gonna like jump on the most, like where they're gonna pay money for certain things, is cosmetics. I think that's where people are gonna like, oh, I want that costume, because like
Yes.
certain very specific costumes you could buy only from the gear vendor. Certain specific costumes you have to solve certain puzzles for. Very specific costumes you earn from gaining levels
Yeah.
and like different things. So there's different routes for different types of gear, and if you don't care about that one costume, you don't gotta buy it, you know.
Yeah, right.
But if you really want it, you spend the what, $3 or $5 to get it.
Yeah, it's the Fortnite formula, right? It's I'm having like a lot of fun playing the game.
Yes.
But there's issues, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think it's like the greatest game ever, but
No.
I'm having a ton of fun though. I think the story is really cool.
No, I give the game a solid 7. I think it's gonna be like a 7-ish game. Like if they improve upon certain things or like make certain aspects better. The mic. We're in trouble.
Yeah,
Last
we
time
are.
Anthony had this mic issue, we were in big trouble.
Oh,
So
yeah,
we're
we
gonna
were.
completely.
No, we're good.
We're good.
We're good.
I thought we were gonna stop.
Crisis averted.
Yes. Good job.
See? I'm the hero, Brett.
Yeah. No, I think they could improve upon a lot of stuff with the game, but that's what they could do with patches and different things. So, or like a mass update eventually. But
Yeah, I know they have a lot of updates planned. They have got leaked out that like 15 or 17 characters in the
it's a
data
big
files.
list of characters.
It's all MCU related.
I'm kind of upset they didn't do a Ghost Rider character I'm seeing on that list. I love being able to play Ghost Rider in games because
Yeah.
it's such a cool character. Or they could have did a Blade. I thought Blade would have been cool. Like they didn't touch upon that side of the character roster. They didn't do
Well,
anything
maybe that'll
like
come-
magic characters.
Yeah, later on down the line.
And there's
They-
like no mutants on that list really either.
Well, I was thinking about that, and I was like, man, this would be so fucking cool if I had like Wolverine here too, you know?
yeah.
Because like through all the movies and the bullshit, like games could always mash everything up, and
Yep.
that was like the funnest part about them. And it's an Avengers title, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? So it's like it's okay for me that mutants
that you're
aren't
just
there.
more Avenger type characters, like
Yeah, right.
But you did have certain mutants on Avengers, like you said, like Wolverine was
Yeah,
like a
for
big
sure.
part of it. But it would be cool if they eventually start introducing like different teams, like if they start to like add a character or two from Fantastic Four, or if like because it wouldn't be too hard for like them to take like to basically model a character after the Hulk and do the Thing and like
Right.
or something like that, or if they did X-Men and they added in like Colossus or something like
yeah.
that.
Well, I'm sure this is the plan, like going forward, and because it's so specifically tied in with the MCU in like a million ways, and that's like I couldn't not see it all over the
Yeah.
place. Like I'm talking like camera shots, just like all kinds of little stuff, you know.
Yep. And like I like how they're tied. Like I like that it's kind of like they're tied into like spy organizations. I just dropped the word like 50 times.
Like,
So
yeah.
like.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
But my third grade teacher is gonna hate me.
Right?
My third grade teacher watches our podcast. Actually, no, it's my fifth grade teacher. She was the one that said never say like. She would always bitch about people saying like.
Like yeah.
She watches our podcast. That's pretty funny though.
I'm sorry, Brett's fifth grade. Fifth grade
Fifth
teacher.
grade.
I'm
Yes.
sorry. What's her name?
Miss Wilczewski.
I'm sorry, Miss Wachowski.
But I don't know. There's gonna be a lot of neat stuff with the game, and the thing I enjoy with it is that they're doing stuff with like Shield and AIM, and I really like that they actually are involving like MODOK in it.
Yeah,
and
that's
they're
awesome.
showing like the characters slowly develop into MODOK.
Mhm.
Like kind of all the games and movies or cartoon movies or TV shows, they would always just show MODOK already where he was already at, to where he has a gigantic head and he's floating around. They didn't really show how he got there. So for like people that aren't comic book readers, they could actually see how he progressed into that state.
Yeah, he went mad.
Mad crazy.
Yes, mad crazy.
And you're in parts of the game, you're starting to actually see how he's starting to kind of get consumed with that power and start to act out and everything in it. He messes up Abomination pretty bad, and I never realized he was on that type of power level either, to where...
Yeah, he has weird psionic type powers.
Well, he's in his chair in the one scene, and he just grabs Abomination by the throat and picks him up like in the air and everything.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Wow.
I couldn't figure out how that happened.
That was one of my favorite parts so far, was the Abomination fight.
That was really cool. It was a fun fight too, like,
yeah,
and it was very Hulk-like, to where the rage like kicked in at the end, and he just starts beating him down really bad and everything.
Like the difficulty levels like just right, you know. It's good.
Yeah. Do you have anything else?
Yeah. So I haven't played as much of it as I'd like to before I talk about it, I guess. But
it's a very long game.
Yeah, and it's still like it just came out. It's a game as a service, so there's going to be more and more and updates and everything.
Yeah,
so.
and we could talk about it as the updates kick on and everything. Down the road, I might end up attempting live streaming, but I don't think I'm comfortable enough to just be on live.
Yeah, you're fine.
We'll see. I have my buddy Aiden. He'll be good. He'll keep the mic rolling.
Yeah.
I just got to make sure he keeps it PG. He
does mostly.
He's quite a kid. All right, so let's move on to our next game. We have Gotham Knights, and we also have Suicide Squad versus the Justice League, which
Suicide Squad kills the Justice League.
Oh, kills the Justice League. Wow. All right, so we got Gotham Knights. This is definitely probably my favorite looking game. It looks to be the most fun. I like the character selection. I like that you're able to be all the predecessors of Batman in it. It's supposed to pick up directly after the Arkham series that they had. And at the end of that series, Bruce Wayne blows up Wayne Manor with himself in it, supposedly. He'll probably be drinking tea somewhere with Catwoman or whatever. But he ends up leaving one of those, if you're watching this video, I'm dead, blah, blah, blah. So now his son Damian, Jason Todd, the Red Hood, you got Nightwing and Batgirl, they're all picking up pretty much where he left off. And it seems like they're squaring up against the Court of Owls. I don't know if they're coming in to take control of the city since they know Batman's away, so it's time for them to play. And Anthony's laptop just kicked off, so that should be interesting. Hopefully that thing's okay.
It's fine. It's all going to be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, this game looks awesome. The combat looks awesome.
Yep.
The character models look great. Everything looks great in this.
Yeah, the story's really good. The people they have voicing the actors is great. Just watch the trailer. The trailer says enough for it. It's like one of those trailers that you're watching and you're like, God, I cannot wait till this comes out.
Yeah, it's got me excited.
Yeah, and it's quite a ways away too. It's like a year away right now, but I'm fine with that because at least for how much they're showing that's already done in this game, if they're still taking another year for development and shit, this game's gonna be amazing.
It can't be that far away, right?
I believe it's a year.
Wow.
Yeah, they said 2020, sometime I think fall 2021, October, I think.
It's awesome because we haven't really played much as any of these characters, you know?
No, and
if at all. I'm trying to think of any games where he plays these.
Yep, and each character has such cool stories. Like each one of them, it would be cool if they explore the different stuff that like went on with Red Hood, and you start finding out a lot about his background and how he was like beat to death, and then he started like his journey, and then you got Batgirl, and she pretty much got shot by the Joker, was paralyzed, and in the Arkham game, she was in a wheelchair in it, so it'll show her transition out of the wheelchair, hopefully. Then you got Damian Wayne popping up. He wasn't even in the last Arkham games. And then Is that everyone? And then Nightwing. But it's kind of sad that they're not doing Tim Drake in it. They're not doing Red Robin. He'll probably be like a DLC character or something.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many other Bat Family characters, but these
There's
are
a
like
lot.
this is pretty core.
Yeah, this
you know?
is the main characters.
Yeah.
But I know, like, I've seen a lot of people really pissed off about Tim Drake because you have some straight up Tim Drake. Oh, he's the best Robin. He was the only one to discover that Batman was, that Bruce Wayne was Batman. Blah blah blah, and he's the smartest Robin. And it's always those people that are really they directly hate Damian Wayne more than anything because he replaced Red Robin. Well, technically, right now, Damian Wayne isn't Robin no more. He gave Batman the patch back in the Robin annual comic that just came out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this past week. He was trying to kill Deadshot, and
Who's he kicking around with then?
he was with the Teen Titans, but he walked out on them too. His like group of Teen Titans, so
Wow.
like they're left without a leader right now. And then in Young Justice recently, they kind of hinted to him becoming Robin again now. So Tim Drake is supposed to be Robin again instead of Red Robin.
Awesome.
Red Robin.
Red Robin. Yum.
Yeah. So
I had to do it.
that should be interesting. And then you'll start to see Damian Wayne go off on his own, and that might be like the lead up to like all the League of Assassins shit and everything.
Yeah, there's so much potential with having 4 different characters
Yep.
that like you could go into any of their stories. I'm sure they'll touch on a lot of different stuff.
It's just cool because you have 2 solid characters that really aren't afraid to kill. They have like a bit of different morals than like Nightwing and Batgirl are kind of more of like by the book characters, and Red Hood and Damian are kind of more like, no, we'll kill you.
You know,
fine.
it'd be awesome if they did an online vote to kill Red Hood.
It would be.
Yeah, because that's how it was like a phone call in for him to die.
Yeah, that'd be kind of messed
People
up.
voted him dead.
Yeah. Well, whatever. It
Vote him
worked
dead
out,
again.
you know? I don't know. We'll see. But I don't know if you have anything else to speculate on it, because all we really got was a trailer and pretty much what got released. You could be any one of the... Well, I'm wondering, too, if you get to pick the character you want to be, or if you, like, through the game you progress and be each different one. I'd hope you get to be the character, because I just want to be Red Hood the entire game and don't change anything.
Well, I'm sure, just like we've been playing the
Different
Avengers, like
storylines.
it'll force you into a character. I'm sure. It looks great, man. There's they're riding motorcycles around. They're doing all kind of shit.
Yeah,
it's
that's
good.
going to be exciting, especially if
looks
you get
cool.
to be in different like vehicles and stuff
Mhm,
that the
different
Bat family
weapons,
has.
different. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems very extensive, the game, like that they really put a lot of focus on these characters to get certain details right about each one. And I'd hope like you eventually get to change like some of the costumes with the characters, so you get to be like the updated version of Red Hood to where he has like the shinobi mask and everything. That's like my favorite Red Hood.
No, I want no cosmetics.
I want all the cosmetics, but I don't want to have to pay for them. I want to earn them.
I want none.
I want to earn them like the old PlayStation Spider-Man game where you got to be like Metal Spider-Man and Symbiote Spider-Man. That's what I want. I want to earn it.
Gotta earn it.
Let me earn my stuff.
earn
I
it,
want to
baby.
earn all of it.
All right. What's up next? Suicide Squad kills the Justice League.
Yeah, so we have Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. That looks very interesting. The trailer had like a jaw-dropping moment to it where you see Superman rescue a guy out of a helicopter. He has a helicopter pilot, and King Shark's like talking like, "Oh my God, it's the glorious Superman!" Like, and he just laser beams the shit out of the guy from the helicopter.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh shit, he's gone rogue. Superman's gone rogue. And
Yeah.
I'm wondering how they're gonna. It's just such a ragtag group, which will make the game really interesting because you're going against these super overpowered characters, and you're trying to stop them with characters that are just like
Captain Boomerang is just gonna.
That's who I'm probably gonna be. If I could pick characters, I'm gonna be Captain Boomerang all the time.
Yeah.
Just because I think his commentary and everything is gonna be like the best one. I'm not gonna be Harley Quinn because I can't stand. I can't. I just can't do it with her.
Well, that's messed up, Brett.
She's just I don't know. She's overly popular right now, and it's just my inner teenager going, nah, I'm not going to join in with the rest of them. I'm going to be the character that no one wants to be. I'm going to be Captain Boomerang. Or King Shark. King Shark would be pretty funny, too.
Yeah, I think it looks all right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope it's not.
It's
over
not
the
on
top.
par with Gotham Knights. It's definitely
It might
not.
be.
Who knows? Well, you didn't really get to see gameplay on it. You just saw the trailer.
Yeah.
Gotham Knights, you got a whole big slew of things going on in it.
I mean, it's similar though. You have a bunch of different playable characters.
Yeah, I can't remember who's developing the game. I'm
Rocksteady.
Rocksteady. I'm gonna have to look at some of the games that they have then and see like what their games look like, because then I'd assume that it would be on the like same level as that, because a lot of different companies like that kind of make a particular type of game. That's how the Avengers is right now. It's everybody's favorite week. It's Zombie Week this week. We have comics that came out this past week is DC's Dead Planet and also Marvel Zombies Resurrection, which was a super thick book. Super thick book.
Yeah, I guess it was. It had to be
Do you want a copy of that? Because I have extra copies.
possibly.
Okay. So both of the books were great this week. Anthony just picked up DC's Dead Planet randomly, and he's like, I have no clue what the fuck is going on in this book. DC's Dead Planet right now, it's already the third pretty much like run that came out. So there was Deceased, then there was Deceased Unkillables, and now there's DC's Dead Planets. Deceased was pretty much all the heroes on Earth, and they're all dying, and then a ship of a small ragtag group of heroes leaves. You have like Damian Wayne, you have, well, now it'd be Green Canary, I guess they're calling her now. So it was Black Canary, who's now Green Lantern, and then you had Green Arrow go up. You had Superboy, and they were all left. And then DC's Unkillables focused on the villains. You had pretty much another ragtag group that ended up living. It was Red Hood. I'm trying to even remember. John Constantine ended up living.
But they were all
Bobo.
dying from it was like the anti-life equation
Yeah.
that was put through technology, so anyone that looked at a screen would turn into a zombie pretty much? Is that,
pretty much,
if I'm
yeah.
remembering kind of right?
Yeah, their version of zombies, kind of. And now the series is leading up to, like, next week should be the last issue of the run. It should be number 6. Or wait, oh, wow. It's only number 3. Wow, I'm shot. But the last one was really cool, issue number 2, because Plastic Man, he's pretty much plastic. He could do all different kind of stuff with his body and everything, and he was in a giant form of himself, and he was killing superheroes, going inside of their orifices and killing them. Like all these were like indestructible heroes who like have diamond skin or like just all different things that made them survive this long on the planet. And now it picked up like on this issue with Zatanna, basically killing him with Hellfire, because you find out that Etrigan is like one of the people held up at this fortress, so that's why the Hellfire is all surrounding it. And the Penguin survived, and I'm trying to think, Maxwell Lord survived, and it's all these villains held up there. And Swamp Thing ends up killing Maxwell Lord. He just pops his head off, and at this point you find out that they're making a whole gigantic like army of Metallos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's gonna be really interesting this upcoming week. And then you have Marvel Zombies Resurrection, which was awesome. It was really, really good. Because I went back and read the past Marvel Zombies, and it was exactly how you said. It was very campy. And now this upcoming series,
the old one, right?
the upcoming series is really different. It's very different tones. Pretty much, it does like a time jump kind of in this, where Peter Parker is with oh my god.
Oh, he's with a bunch of them. So this goes back, right? So there was a one-shot last year. I want to say it was in the fall, right?
Yeah. It was
Marvel
like,
Zombies Resurrection. The writer is the same. His name is Philip Kennedy Johnson. So in that one, pretty much the Fantastic Four got a distress call from Captain Marvel.
Yep.
They go up to find out what was going on. It was inside of Galactus's head. And then everybody that goes up basically gets attacked by these like heroes that are zombies.
Yep.
and that was pretty much it. And then Galactus comes falling towards the Earth. So this picks up like Spider-Man's flashback in the beginning is picking up from like when that happened.
Yeah, so he has Sue Storm's kids with him, and he's trying to save them. I believe Mary Jane actually ends up dying. Like they alluded to it, but they didn't say it for sure, or she ends up becoming a zombie or whatever. And he takes the kids off to safety, and he's with Forge, and
He's got Forge, Nana, the Sentinel.
yeah, that was really cool. They reprogrammed the Sentinel in it, and so they're pretty much like foraging for food and hiding in the woods, trying to avoid all these zombie units.
They
and
have Captain Marvel's cat,
yes, they do.
who is still Chewie in this and not Goose,
Yes.
which is good.
So they end up going. The Forge takes them to X Manor, and they're really nervous. They're like, "Oh, are you sure you want to go in here?" I forget what they're calling the leaders of the zombies. They're some kind of it's pretty much like the heroes that are turned zombie or whatever
Yeah,
in it,
yeah.
and it ends up being Beast, and he just ends up fucking people up in there. He kills Forge because Forge is trying to talk to him, but then you realize Beast still has a small part of his mind kind of, but they're still part of a hive mind.
Yeah, he can still communicate.
Yeah, and he seems kind of like he resembles some of himself, but it is and it isn't, and it's like a trick, and he ends up ultimately killing Forge. And at the end of the comic, they decide that they're going to go to the Galactus hive mind on pretty much a suicide mission now.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you think that the zombies are all going to come and get them, and you start seeing the zombies get messed up, and at the end of it, Blade shows up, so you're like, oh shit, Blade's here, he's going to fuck people up.
Blade's coming in.
Because Blade's not turning into a zombie, he's a vampire, he can't.
Is that true? I don't know how that works.
I don't know, I wondered how Wolverine ended up turning into it too, because they showed Wolverine as a zombie, and he has that healing factor, so he shouldn't be able to turn into a zombie, because they wouldn't be able to, change his cells, you know?
He still has blood, though.
Yeah, but if he could fight off when I'm trying to think the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse or whatever fought him, they shot a thing that had all different kind of viruses and shit at him, and he almost died, but he ultimately healed through it. So why wouldn't he be able to heal from a zombie virus?
Well, maybe he's in a constant state of healing.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's eating away at him, and he's
constantly fighting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. It's one of the questions that I just was speculating in my head.
Well, I mean, it's zombies, and you're not supposed to think too much about it.
Yeah,
How
well,
do
like
you-
you said,
how
it's
do you
more
infect,
campy vibe.
Silver Surfer with the zombie virus, you know?
True. Or Galactus. Yeah.
Or Galactus, yeah.
Cosmic being.
It could be some kind of zombie virus that you've never even heard of before.
Yeah. I don't know. It looks interesting. It was definitely better than I thought it was going to be. My son just keeps handing me drinks right now
You look thirsty.
over the table. Yeah, I'm very thirsty. But yeah, so it's definitely a series I'm looking forward to. Some of the artwork for the books were really awesome. They released just an insane amount of variants and different things for it. The same as last time. I think just my local comic shop that doesn't get that many variants. I think I got 5 from there just this week.
For this one or for
Yeah.
the deceased one?
For this. Deceased is a running 3 every time. They have their A, B, and C, but I think there was A, B, C, D, and then Chuck got a retailer variant this time.
Did he?
Yeah,
Nice.
so I snagged one of those. Me and my brother were the only 2 people that got one of the retailer variants.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
What I'm interested in is this is a 4-part miniseries, and this is somehow going to tie into Thor, right?
Yeah, so they did allude to actually Thor being in there, and Peter Parker specifically mentioned his name in it, Thor, Cap. I think he mentioned Black Panther in there too, that they all got hit by the zombie virus.
Yeah.
So
Yes, I did. So yeah, Thor kills Black Winter, and then Black Winter, with his last little black snowflake, gives Thor a vision of his death, and it's
zombies and
Yeah,
not Galactus,
Thanos with Thor's hammer, with the Infinity Stones embedded in the hammer, surrounded by Marvel zombies. So somehow this is going to tie in. It's pretty interesting. I want to see
Yeah.
what they do with it.
And the issue is huge. I hope they just keep it that large, because if they're doing a 4-part series, they're going to have to pack a lot into 4 books to explain everything going on. And
Yeah.
I don't know. It was good. Very, very good. All right. I'm
Good.
moving on.
Move on. I'm done with this. Zombies.
So we have The Boys.
The Boys.
I was super excited for this. I actually scheduled Friday off this past week so I could binge watch the whole season of The Boys, and it was a big kick in the nuts because they only released 3 episodes.
Well, at least you had Avengers too.
Yeah, so screw you, Amazon Prime, for being the devil and taking something away from me. I don't have many things, and that was my one thought of vacation, was to binge watch all of The Boys. But you did give me 3 episodes, and they were all just absolutely incredible.
How many episodes was last season?
I think 6 or 8.
So they'll do like 3 releases? Is that how
Yeah,
they're doing it?
I think so. Well, I think they're doing 1 episode every Friday after this, supposedly.
That's
Yeah, that sucks. Because
Yeah,
then you
fuck
kind of
them.
forget what happens episode to episode, and there's
Mhm.
like a lot in this, and I'm trying to go back and forth and compare what's going on from the comic to what's different in this.
Yeah, I think I want to read that. From what you've told me, and this past week I read the first couple issues just to poke around and see
Yeah.
how it was.
So
Yeah, I think I'm going to catch myself up on
well,
that.
if you go to Comics Explained, because then you don't got to read tie-ins and stuff. If you go to the Comics Explained YouTube page, it's a 5-hour video. It's the entire thing, and it's easy. Just if you throw it on going to and from work,
Yeah.
it's not bad. But like,
Wrong, Brett. That's the wrong way to do it. You don't just pick up and watch a YouTube video. You read the comic book. All right?
yeah,
You
well,
sit down and you read.
I have that over there that doesn't allow me to get. I read a lot week to week, so for me to read more is difficult because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, you
reading
do.
between 10 and 15 comics a week, or even more sometimes, depending on the drop. But I'm gonna just give like some differences in the series of what has come up so far in the series. So one of the things where last season left off, you had Homelander discover he had a son. In the Boys comic book, his Billy Butcher wakes up to his wife, like, kind of, I guess it's giving birth, but the baby's actually lasering through her stomach and pops out, and it's a flying baby strapped to an umbilical cord. And Billy Butcher's so shocked by it happening, he takes the baby by the umbilical cord and smashes it off the ground till it's dead. And that's where his like big vendetta came against Homelander. Then he finds out his wife was raped or whatever in it. And in the series, it seems more of a consensual thing. But now that Homelander shows up at her house, like, she doesn't want him there. She's very nervous with him being around, and he's kind of just making her life hell. And you start thinking in the series that the kid doesn't have superpowers, but when he gets angry, they kind of come out, and that's going on. And then
Did they show his powers? Because I know that Homelander kept trying to, like,
yeah, he pushed
tell
him
him
off
that
the
he
roof
had-
and
yeah,
stuff. Yeah. Well, yeah, he pretty much has everything Homelander does. He ends up being able to like use his strength and pushes Homelander to the ground, and then you see his eyes light up red, so he obviously has laser vision.
nice.
And then with the Compound V or whatever, there is the similarity in the comic to like how they're covering it up in the same way with Vought covering that up. Trying to think right now some of the differences. So how they have Stormfront, the new girl on the show, the superhero that has the electricity powers. She's actually a man in the comic books, which is a difference. But I'm fine with the character. I think she's a great character. I think she's a great actor.
Yeah, she's like super edgy girl.
Yeah. But that's all set up. That's because she's been with Vought from the very beginning. She was actually the first superhero that they actually created. She was created in.
Brett's fucking spoiling the boys.
Well, no, this is up to this point pretty much, like with the similarities in the comic, and she was actually created in Nazi Germany. They alluded to it already in the TV show.
She was created in Nazi Germany.
Yeah, she was.
So she doesn't age? Is that?
No, I guess not. No, I don't think so. And I think they bring her in here and there, whatever, like when they're like, because they showed a picture on the show, Mother's Milk in the show, is kind of looking, and he catches like this one character. I forget what they called her. She had a different name like years ago, and he's kind of making the connection and stuff in the show
Right.
already, but like it just hasn't told you that yet. And I think that's how they're going to end up going. And like one of the interviews that they talk about it, they said like "Oh, so you're using Stormfront?" And he said, like, sadly, he's like, "Yeah, I'm doing it because," he said, like, old movies like James Bond and like different stuff, they always had like some weird foreign villain or whatever, and he said, "What's better than a Nazi villain? You know, like a bunch of punching up Nazis." So that's the route they're going with it because he thinks it would be funny. So
I don't. They wouldn't do actual Nazi, would they?
that was the interview. I'm telling you. So they're gonna ultimately kill Stormfront. They're gonna have to.
Oh,
So,
for sure. I'm just
so that's them killing some Nazis.
killing some Nazis. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
you can't go wrong with that.
No, like look at Inglourious Bastards that kill Nazis, and then that movie was so highly such
Yeah.
a highly accepted movie by just a large audience too, and for how gory it is. And I'm dying right now what they're doing with the Deep. Like they had him like with a mushroom trip, locked up in his in a bedroom or whatever. And his gills start talking back to him, so he starts figuring out like why he demeans women and everything. It's because he doesn't feel good about himself because of the gills, and his gills are voiced by Patton Oswalt, which is hilarious and
weird,
so
dude.
weird.
It's so weird.
Yeah, and they have like a sing along together, and then I don't know, his character is just so good because he's such a flawed character that it makes him so relatable that he genuinely like he does. He's just a very human being, like the way he demeans women to kind of make himself feel better, and like he does try to do good, but he always fucks up with it, like with the sea life between like the lobster getting cut open, the dolphin, now the whale.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just weird. I find that whole bit weird.
He's like my favorite character in it, and everyone in the TV show, just start keeping a good eye on Black Noir. There's going to be a big, I'm not going to spoil it for anyone, but there's going to be a big thing with Black Noir.
Oh, great. Great.
Yeah. I don't know if they're even going to do it this season, to be honest.
Half
but
spoiler.
I don't know if they're going to do it or not do it, but I really hope they end up actually doing something with what happens in the comics with that. And then
They
there's...
burned him, right?
Huh?
They burned him.
Yeah, but they only showed like a piece of his face.
3/4 spoiler.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And then...
Boys.
And then Seth Rogen is supposed to be the Nick Fury of that. Supposedly, you find out like there's gonna be more tie-ins with Seth Rogen or whatever in it too. So I don't know. I'm just excited for the whole show in general. It's my favorite superhero show going on now. Period.
Yeah.
And I didn't really enjoy like I remember I picked up comics like long ago and I didn't really enjoy them. They were kind of dry, but now I'm starting to enjoy the comic more because I'm enjoying the show so much. It's something I'm like diving back into. But do you have anything else?
I got nothing.
All right,
I got nothing on the boys.
we're out. This is a big podcast. We tried to do a lot of stuff to catch up content. We've had some time off. We've just been very busy. Anthony's daughter went to school, away to school. I've had a lot of projects going on with my work. Anthony's been busy with work, so we just trying to do a big podcast, catch it up. We're going to try doing some more additional content, try doing some different things. Something might eventually involve a shock collar. So stay tuned, everyone, and thank you for listening, and have yourself a great night. And, yeah, see you later.
Bye.